Hello, welcome everybody to the AEL High School Divisional League play here. High School Cup coming at you live. It's Mattse and Racquetz back at it again with some Overwatch 2 action. It's a pleasure to be here. And how are you doing, Racquetz?
Lovely to be here, mate. I'm doing fantastic. It's a wonderful day, and a wonderful day to be spectating some Overwatch. Now, this is quite different to last week, Matsy. These are best of threes. Last week we had Mayhem, very fast, quick matches. This is going to be slightly different, so I'm excited to see that sort of longer format. People being a little bit more, intelligent with their drafts. Sort of changing up the picks for the best of three. But yeah, I'm excited, mate. You know me. I like that type of stuff.
I'm excited too. I reckon we're going to have a real fun day with it. We've got a few banger matches on their way. Speaking of, I think we should be able to give you a bit of insight on who's playing, actually. I think we're going to be starting off with SPLCA coming up against Trinity Esports, followed by KGS COW1 versus SCCC Gold, and then KGS COW1 again versus SPLCA. So that will be our scheduled matches for today, but keen to see, I guess, how all those go down. But before we get into the matches here, Racquetz, let's give a big shout out to some of our lovely sponsors.
Yeah, for sure. Can do that. First off, we're starting with Acer Australia. So they're the presenting partner of the High School Summer Series who provide PC technology solutions for all the schooling needs in the classroom and at home. Second off, we're talking about Predator Gaming. If you want to boost up your PC performance with some high-end gaming PC solutions, look no further than Predator with both laptop and desktop solutions powered by Intel. Third, AOC monitors, the gaming monitors who provide the best in-class monitor solutions for all your gaming needs. And fourth, last but not least, Indomie, the noodle partner made with high-quality flour and selected ingredients, spices, and the plate of Indomie Mega Ring noodles will certainly brighten up your day. Try any one of these flavors available today from your local grocer or at indomie.com.au. Very, very nice. As you can see, Matsy has some himself. I have some myself, actually. They're in the cupboard, but I don't have enough time to, grab it and bring it here. But yeah, they're fantastic for sure.
Absolutely. Big shout out to Indomie there. Love their noodles.
Oh, and Game on Cancer as well.
That's right.
Which is the last one. So yeah, they are the charity of choice for AEL, and they help provide much needed funding for the research, and the donating will be the portions will be donated to the participation fees for the life-saving cause. And if you'd like to donate, please, there's a QR code over there, and you can head over to AEL's Tiltify page as well. So yeah, a lovely cause there as well. So myriad of great sponsors to help the AEL League out, and yeah, great stuff.
Absolutely. Big shout out to all of our wonderful sponsors there. Big shout out to Racquetz for going through all of that. And yeah, definitely get on board with some of our sponsors. They have a range of great products on offer, and obviously Game on Cancer supporting a great cause there. So definitely get involved. But speaking of getting involved, we've got our first game on its way pretty soon. I'm pretty excited to see, I guess, what kind of game we're going to be seeing because, things have been looking pretty fun lately. I know there's been a plethora of messaging coming out directly from the Overwatch 2 devs recently in terms of the future of the game. I think we're actually going to be seeing a new support and tank hero heading towards the future. Probably a while away yet.
Yeah,
probably a long while away. But
yeah.
it's something to be excited for, to have those new characters on the way. Like, I know that Lifeline, I think, was the most recent one, and I don't know how to feel about Lifeline, to be honest. It's a bit of a mixed bag, isn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah, Lifeweaver is pretty
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he does give you a lifeline if he does get the pull off, so it sort of works that way. But yeah, I mean, I personally don't play much of him. I think he was a little bit of a miss in terms of like how powerful he was. We didn't actually see him that much in last week's games as well. Usually when we see a new hero come out immediately, everyone's sort of on it straight away. They want to exploit how like overpowered it could potentially be. But Lifeweaver was one of the few that didn't have like the most successful like power level initially. I'm saying power level because that Dragon Ball Z shit
What
you're
does the
wearing.
Scouter say about your power level, Racket?
It's over 9,000.
What?
But,
9,000?
but yeah, I mean, Lifeweaver needs a little bit of help in that regard. Have a few friends that actually like one trick that character, and they gave me some ideas as to how they could potentially buff him, but they think after because Lifeweaver is a very weird one because they changed like his control scheme like as a buff because his control scheme was kind of like a little bit clunky initially, but after that a lot of people were a lot more happy, and I think over time he will definitely get some numbers adjusted. But so far with what we've seen, we've been seeing a lot of Ramatra. So here's the character that came out before Lifeweaver. And I mean, if you like that close quarters brawling style, then look no further than here because we've been having a ton of Ramatra. Now, mind you, last week it was only control points. So that's when Ramatra is going to be like as powerful as he's ever going to get, right? And we saw a bit of Junker Queen as well, Reinhardt. So we're going to be seeing a different format in the best of three, much more different in terms of the maps that we're going to be seeing. So maybe we won't be seeing as much of those main tanks there, but still intrigued to see nonetheless.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how it's all going to go down personally. Sounds like we could be getting into game pretty soon. I think I can hear some little whispers. I think we might just get into it now, actually. Here we go.
There we go.
We've got a game on our hands or something, Racket. Can you believe it?
We do. Wow.
Oasis map 1. That's going to be exciting.
Yeah,
I like the colors of the teams too. You know, I love the pink, to be honest.
It is actually quite nice, isn't it? I like that you can customize that feature, especially. I believe, there's a lot of colorblind options as well, in case you have those problems with seeing specific colors as well. So that's very good. But yeah, personally, something that's nice and bright that you can see like the outlines of the characters if you're trying to aim for them is very good. It's very good. Easier to see that way.
It's good that they have that kind of accessibility for people of all different walks of life. So really good stuff there. But we're almost in game. We've got the players putting up their sprays on the wall. They're already ready to be bouncing off the walls. And let's get round 1 right underway right now. Going to be heading straight towards the capture point here. Looking to see if they can get some early control. Is SPLC A. I like the Tracer. They can go for some early flanking action, but they may already get shut down. There's a lot of aggression in the side halls there.
Yeah, I mean, Tracer's going to get a lot of value in these matchups, especially up against the Junker Queen, having the mobility to kite around and try and get the supports in the back, especially the likes of a Zenyatta, right? Following up with that Discord Orb, but these fights can go so quickly. And there we go, the Tracer getting picked off at the start. They will allow them have a little bit more room to breathe, and the Junker Queen doing so much damage with the bleed as well.
Yeah, definitely finding a lot of value there. Control point going to be back up now, though, in favour of Trinity. Doing a good job to isolate their opponents out of the point as long as possible here. We'll see how things go. Diving into the rest of this one. Good wall to actually push them away from one another as well, but will be another player lost on the side of SPLCA there. Definitely doing a great job for Trinity to keep that percentage building over and over again.
Yep, and this is exactly what you want to do. You want to continue to push the momentum forward there, and especially with those ultimates available too, it can help you out, bolster your lead a little bit too, but seeing how they're continuing to move forward as well, the ultimates are being used to help them out here.
But there we go. It is going to be the control point taken back there by SPLCA. So nicely done to be able to get a solid position for themselves there. Tracer does have the pulse bomb ready and waiting if they need to use it. Hopefully their teammates are going to be taking charge here. Ooh, missing that one. That's unlucky. At least they can run it back and get a little bit more damage from afar, but going to be a lot of pressure on the tank to maintain the front lines while they try and build up some further percentage here. I think if they take a bit too long, though, Trinity might be looking to use a couple of their ultimates to gain some momentum towards the point as well.
Well, the Junker Queen ultimate's going to be very good for kicking things off with that massive bit of anti-heal. Let's see if either one of these main tanks can get that. Break it down, says Lucio. That will help the situation. Let's take it to the wasteland. The other Junker Queen says as well. Tactical Visor is available, and there is absolute havoc on the point. Zenyatta so low, the soldier nearly assassinating, but the reload twice, and gets killed from behind by the Tracer.
Yeah, seems like Zenyatta almost immortal there, heading on the edge of life, but they're going to be pretty happy with their teammates in that one.
He's in the Zen state.
Yeah, exactly. They're just having a very peaceful time, you know? Just meditating the whole way through, unfazed by any enemies.
And the cool part about that is he didn't even need to use his Transcendence either. So we just stood there the whole time having full confidence. There we go, the Transcendence does come out to help with the Blizzard as well. So that's perfect timing, making sure that none of the members are being immediately frozen to death.
Yeah, definitely going to assist their team to try and nullify that May ultimate. They will be able to shut down basically all of the members of Trinity as well. They're trying to isolate the Junker Queen now. It's going to be great to stagger out their opponents. Gives them less of a chance to get on the point and contest them as we head towards 90% now. Like, the only thing they're going to be able to do is maybe tap the point, but they're already losing out members one after the other, just getting singled out. Good of the Lucio there to try and stall it, but I think it's going to be too little too late at this stage, and that is going to be the first objective taken by SPLCA. So nicely done to take the first portion of the control map here in their favor.
Yeah, it's a lovely job there, Mattse, and this is sort of what we expected to see on these control maps, having the very close range compositions. You have the Reaper, you have the Tracer, the Junker Queen as well. Trinity electing to play a little bit more back, but I think if you have the initial engage, especially in conjunction with the Junker Queen not getting the big anti-heal at the start, that can really, really help, right? If you have the Zenyatta damage boost as well, you can just get a ludicrous amount of damage to get a pick at the start of the fight. So SPLCA, it's almost like a rhyme, a rap, isn't it? But yeah, they've done a great job to make sure to start with the right foot forward.
Yeah, certainly getting their best foot forward there, able to take point number one. See if they can get some traction into the second part of the map as well. Doomfist going to be looking to try and make their enemies cease to exist. Definitely has a good option to try and push them off the map as well. Will be Spinic to take down a Rowdy there. So a good start for Trinity here, already finding one member of the opposition. May even be able to find some further members as well, as the objective comes online now. Looks like no one's going to be getting any further kills though, so great for both teams to really keep themselves alive, make sure everyone's as healthy as possible.
See how that Doomfist manages to impact the way that this map goes. He's very mobile, can gain access to the high ground. The Tracer on the pressure of the Junkrat on the high ground, and there we go. Elimination, assassination, wonderful job getting rid of that pressure away from Trinity Esports. And now the Doomfist is going to try and stall and make sure that the other composition doesn't make their way forward, but still they're continuing to push through.
Yeah, continuing to push through. The Meteor Strike looking to push it through as well. SPLCA going to be good to take advantage of that fight, get the point back in their favor. Looks like Not Zebra going to be shut down as well, so a good stagger coming out from SPLCA there. That's going to allow them to gain a bit more percentage as well. We'll see if anyone else will get isolated here. Good little bit of damage being found there by Elliptisivi. See if they can get something with this. Oh, good anti-heal on a lot of the members there. Huge run through. And their teammates are going to be able to capitalize accordingly. Good for the three-piece there. Fantastic work coming out there. Wow. Huge stuff from Junker Queen. They're going to be able to get 4 kills, almost on track for the ace, but it will be Zenyatta to take that one away. My gosh.
Can you get much cleaner than that? I think Trinity Esports, they're going to need a lot more than bandages to patch up those wounds. And it was a great job there from the Junker Queen. I think this is really hard. You want to really look for flanks in this situation if you're Trinity Esports, because going straight through this choke point up against the likes of a Junker Queen, up against the likes of the Reaper, it can just spell so much hardship against your team there. And the Pulse Bomb is available. The Soldier is getting quite low, and we're already doing a very good job at putting pressure in the backline here.
Yeah, certainly managing to find a lot of good pressure there. Might even be able to establish a bit more as well. Zebra going to be forced off the front lines here. They're really doing a good job at containing that Doomfist. Like, they're not able to be as effective as they'd like to be. They might even go down. Looks like the Riptide is going to come out now, though. Finding a lot of damage there, taking out the Junker Queen and Reaper this time around. So at least it gives Trinity Esports a bit of wind in their sails again, as they will be able to take the point back in their favor for the moment.
That is true, and see that Doomfist can of course come back to point really, really fast too, with that enhanced mobility. And also, Doomfist did get a pretty decent buff. A lot of his bugs ending up getting fixed with that power block. But Heroes Never Die, says the Mercy. So Valkyrie is popped very, very early. Wonder if that's a misclick or just maybe predicting an early engage from SPLCA. But either way, it is procced and it will keep all the members of Trinity topped up for the time being. But still, Doomfist is getting quite low and up against that Discord orb. Very, very squishy.
Yeah, quite squishy indeed. They're really going to have to try and stay away from that one. Look to have some teammates there to shield them, but SPLCA doing a great job to shut down the members of Trinity here. They will get the point back in their favor, trying to even stagger out some of the enemies as well. See if they are going to manage it. Could be one last fight here. Doomfist, good to try and get on the point. The beat's been dropped as well. They're trying to keep themselves as healthy as possible. Transcendence comes out though. Great to counter things out there. And the members of SPLCA take down every which member here. Not going to be able to get on the point. That is going to be SPLCA taking it away. And they will find the first map going in their favor in our best of 3 series here. So fantastic stuff coming out from SPLCA there.
Lovely stuff. And who else was the player of the game we're going to really be awarded to? I think this was just textbook stuff from the Junker Queen. Getting every single member, by the way, with this anti-heal. Look at this. Pretty much lathering the whole team up. All wounded. All crying for help. And, well, Junker Queen just got a bunch of value there, huh? That is the nature of her on control maps. She can be so ridiculously strong, and I think they really took advantage of that. See, I'm a Doomfist fan myself. You know me. I literally have an account where I just play Doomfist, and that situation can be a little bit hard if you don't have the necessary support with your team. I think Doomfist is the best when he has a lot of teammates that can dive with him. Now, unfortunately, in that situation, he didn't have that same kind of support, so he was left a little bit stranded some of the times. And the nature of going up against a Zenyatta as the Doomfist as well, if you miss that empowered punch, you're going to be exploded immediately. You're not going to have the opportunity to get that one shot, and all of a sudden, you're fighting down with one main tank. That's just the nature of Doomfist. He's very double-edged sword type character, right? He can get that one shot at the start of the fight, or he could either get one shot himself. But Junker Queen on control, she's very, very, very solid. Doesn't have the same amount of risk and has a lot of upside, especially, I mean, we just saw that ultimate right there on the play of the game as well, right? So how much better can you get in terms of value in that sort of play?
Yeah, not much more. It's great that they have the team to play around them as well, because I know that some Junker Queens definitely struggle to have that support of their teammates, but in this instance, working out wonderfully for the side of SPLCA, as they will be able to take map number 1 in their favor. 2 control points to none. Definitely going to be a lot to consider there. But map number 2, definitely going to be an interesting one as well. While we do
It'll be
get
hybrid, right?
Yeah, I think it's going to be something like that.
Yeah.
I'm curious what map it's going to actually end up on, to be honest.
I believe so.
Kings
the
Row.
pool for hybrid. Okay, yeah, Kings Row. Yeah, Blizzard World, Kings Row, and Hollywood in that selection there.
Okay.
Okay, it's Hollywood for map 2, I believe. There we go. We've been alerted on the map.
We've got the call out. Great stuff.
Go. Wonderful, wonderful.
We love Hollywood. Good old classic map. That's going to be solid. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, lovely. I mean, I haven't played Hollywood in a while, actually, because in comp, they've introduced back, like, the bigger pool, right? And some maps, I just think that, I want to play on this map, but I end up never getting it. And Hollywood is actually one of my favorite maps, actually. I think if you're a person who really likes playing dive, if you're a person who wants to sort of have that same, like, chokehold, very defensive comp on, like, that first point of defense, that's sort of like your style, right? You can really mix it up there, but see how both of these teams adapt for this. Of course, we didn't see, like, intense dive with our last team comps that we saw. Like, we saw, like, a Doomfist hybrid type comp. We saw a Junker Queen composition with, like, a Tracer and Zenyatta, so a little bit faster tempo version of, like, a run-in type comp, but not exactly dive per se, right? You're not having the Winnie or the Diva, stuff like that. But see how both of these teams shape up, because we haven't seen a hybrid map in quite a while. We've been seeing a bunch of control, right? So hybrid is quite different. with the way that the map evolves or the way that the map shapes out. So interesting to see how these folks take to that.
Yeah, I really admire each team's unique style, I guess, of play. You know, everyone has a different way to achieve victory in their minds, and it's great to see the way that the different pieces get assembled between each team. You know, obviously, some teams might be a bit more drawn back, might want to play a bit more defensively with something like a Sigma or a Reinhardt, and others
Yep.
might be more dive comp orientated with, you know, something like maybe even the Winston, or maybe they look to play with an Orisa, you know, get some pressure with the spinning spear there. There's a lot of different ways that teams are going to be playing, so definitely eager to see more of what's to come. I'm keen to see if there's going to be a Ramatra today, because, you know, ever since that character came into the pool, it's been, I'd say he's been a huge impact maker in a lot of compositions. So I'm
Yeah.
definitely excited to see if that's going to make an appearance on at least one of these maps today. It looks like we are going to be getting into none other than Hollywood. Coming at you live right now. Looks pretty beautiful at night time, to be honest. Haven't seen this one in a while, actually. Look at all the stars. Look how they shine for you. It was all yellow.
Is that a song or something? Or is
Who
that just
knows?
like is that just your poetry? Either one. I appreciate it, mate. But I do like the sort of different color changes with the maps. It introduces a different alternate palette. If you prefer the nighttime, if you prefer the daytime.
Came from
some-
beyond the moon.
Yeah, apparently. We'll have to see that, mate. There's a few movies being starred here at Hollywood.
Watch it from the
quite the
apartments.
place. Let's see what both of these teams are shaping up to play. Trinity, of course, hovering over that Doomfist comp. So see how that works out for them. As I said, they have a little bit of a hybrid. They're not all in of this dive. They have the Doomfist, but they have a sort of poke from range type situation as well. So if anyone is very low, Doom can try to capitalize on that. But looks like maybe they're swapping off to the Ramatra for now then. A little bit more solid, and you did call it, Mattse. We are seeing that for now. So the Ramatra versus Junker Queen tank matchup. This is, I believe, going to be something of a theme for today. Very popular tanks at the moment. Junker Queen, very, very buff. But let's see how this Symmetra ends up working out as well, because could be quite a deadly choke to go through.
Yeah, it looks like Ramatra is already going to be down and out there. So SPLCA back in the driver's seat again. The single target ability has just been so prominent pretty much all throughout the series. You know, I can just feel it in the back of my mind, their in-game leader just calling out those targets, and then as soon as they hear that character name, you know, like Ramatra or, for example, Mercy or any of it, they just echo that thought into a hive mind and just single out that target immediately. So it's really great to see the synergy coming out early on.
Oh, that's what it feels like, right? That's certainly what it feels like with the Ramatra getting eliminated so quickly, and now the Doomfist swap is there. Let's see if they can eliminate the Symmetra turrets, especially. They want to make going through the choke as easy as possible because they don't want to be slowed down, but that's a nice sleep onto the Reaper. Just having a nice gaze, and there we go, eliminated. Free pick at the start. That's exactly what they wanted to see.
Absolutely right. Trade's going to be coming out on both sides, though. Could be favouring Trinity at the minute, however. Do see plenty of kills going in their favour right now. Sleep's coming out as well. Really doing a lot of work. Do manage to take down the Mercy, however, so that's going to really nullify some of the healing potential for our red team now. Really great that Civi is going to be able to find a lot of prominence there in the tank, though. They're getting a lot of kills, managing to get their team back on the point. Good wall to come up as well. Rowdy singling out their opponents, not taking any damage here, and there is a complete shutdown. Doomfist going to be the last one standing, has Mercy, not for long, and it will be a great way to keep defense over the point here.
Look at the amount of damage coming out from that Symmetra. That's ludicrous. And if you don't get her at the start of the fight, she just has the opportunity to charge, and get more damage off from her primary fire. That's going to become very deadly, especially in conjunction with the Discord. Then all of a sudden you might be running into a lot of trouble.
Yeah, prepare for trouble and make it double. Let's see. They are going to be able to climb out of the rubble here. Good Discord coming out on the Doomfist, taking a lot of punishment up front. Going to have to hide behind for a little bit. Ult comes out as well from Junker Queen, getting the anti through, trying to shut down as many targets as possible. It is a wipe coming out there. They are going to have to fall all the way back to spawn. Everybody's out of here. Really great usage of the ultimates there to keep the SPLC A team alive. And they've got just over a minute to hold this one back.
Just over a minute indeed. Let's see what Trinity can do in this situation. They do have double support ult available and DPS coming online quite soon as well. They don't exactly want to overinvest into this fight, but of course it could very well be their last on this map for the attack. So let's see how their decision making goes. Let's see if they falter to the pressure, or let's see if they go all in.
It's all going to come down to this. So Welcome Harp does catch Bastion in the back line there. Already going to nullify some of the attack potential coming out here. Ash could be on the chopping block too. There we go. Yep. Big flip-flop, but does manage to chop them away. And it will be plenty of kills coming out there. Meteor Strike coming through off the nano boost, but I don't know how much work they're going to be able to do with it. They do at least find one kill onto the Symmetra. Bastion now back in action as well. The ult coming through there, trying to see if they can find that tank and doing a lot of damage, but the healing is just too powerful for them. 13 seconds remain here. Trinity Esports need to get on the point. Bob's come out, but might not be able to do too much. Ash has gone down there. And there's huge stuff come out again. The ults in the back line, not Zebra, trying to stay on the point here, but they're not able to do too much at all. The wall just separating the enemies from one another. They're not able to get those shots through. At least going to get the taps to keep the point alive just a little bit longer, but as soon as they get off that point, it's going to be round number 1 going to SPLCA. They need to do everything they can here to keep it going.
Extremely tough. The Doomfist trying to get some value here. Getting the accumulated shields from hitting a lot of the enemy team, but that won't be enough. Junker Queen screaming in celebration because they just held that very, very well. A wonderful collection of ultimates from that Junker Queen player there as well. Just wonderful stuff. Just getting the whole team, I felt like at pretty much every single fight they had that available, right? So it was a very strong performance in there. And Trinity Esports, they have a sort of unique style, but they just haven't managed to sort of perfect it in this match. They haven't found the right stride for themselves. I do appreciate that Doomfist pick especially, but it is a little bit awkward, especially up against the enemy composition when they do have that Zenyatta, when they do have the amount of burst, when they do have the Junker Queen, who just feels invincible this patch. She just is an absolute monster when it comes to trying to eliminate her. So what does that mean? If Junker Queen is extremely durable, then you have to look at diving the supports, and Doomfist really needs to get a very good read in order to get that to happen. And unfortunately hasn't found his mark at a lot of these positions because SPLCA have done a very good job at not overextending. So let's see how they play it out in this situation. SPLCA in a very good driver's seat scenario for themselves. Very similar comp to what they had on defense. Let's see if Trinity Esports can survive the onslaught. They have a little bit of a difference here in their defending lineup, Mattse. They have the Mei and the Bastion. So let's see if that dynamic duo can do wonders for them, because those walls, those turret forms are going to be on point to defend this.
The attack begins now. Bastion trying to spray through their enemies there. Be boosted up by Mercy as well. Need to have a bit more damage in the tank there, but the attackers are not going to be too phased by it. Even teleporting through, huge way to get things started. Big flip-flop already getting a kill. Will be traded out though, but it's already favoring the SPLCA side. Almost everybody on Trinity has been shut down here, and it is a wipe. This is amazing stuff coming through from SPLCA there. And that's it. That's done and dusted. They've taken it. Wow, I'm speechless. Wow. That's incredible teamwork.
Yeah, wow, they did a great job, didn't they, Mattse? That decisiveness, that teamwork. And another play of the game on the Junker Queen. I mean, this is just an MVP performance, utilizing as well as they can a bunch of anti-heal targets, healing up against the Bastion, finishing off that target in the back. Wonderful shot on the Doomfist. And there we go. Oh, wow. Really making that pick look as good as possible. I mean, as I said, Junker Queen has been recently buffed. And I believe I said that on last week's stream. We didn't end up seeing as much Junker Queen as I thought. We saw a lot more Ramatra and Reinhardt comps. But it looks like so far we're getting a lot more Junker Queen already. Already seeing her in 100% of the maps so far. So yeah, she is a very, very deadly pick to deal with. And I think Mattse, I mean, that series went incredibly quick. Incredibly quick. It was
Yep.
entertaining though. It was entertaining though, because I do like the fact that Trinity were at least sticking to their style. They were like, okay, we're gonna do with what we feel comfortable with, and even if we lose, we'll probably learn something off it because we're at least losing doing our style rather than trying to do something that we don't believe that we are, right? So especially with that Doomfist pick, the name is a call out to the player Zebra, one of the best Doomfists in the world, and they didn't manage to hit the mark, and it's very, very difficult to perform up against that enemy comp. But if it hits, it looks phenomenal. If you land those punches, it looks phenomenal. And if they get the picks at the start with those hit scans, it can make the Doomfist's job a lot more easier. But SPLCA were very, very sturdy, solid, and they didn't give a lot of breathing room. And when you don't give a lot of breathing room, then the picks don't come through. I think if you have that Junker Queen composition, you're more favored to win that all-out brawl.
Yeah, absolutely. You just have a lot more mobility in that respect and a lot more ways to help your team out there. Because obviously, as you were talking about, Doomfist, a bit of a double-edged sword, like I guess a very volatile pick where if you can make it work, it's awesome. But if you're not able to find those crucial shots, then it's just not going to work. So unlucky there for that side of things. But that's going to be the end of Series 1. So while we do get Series 2 right up and prepared for battle, we will be heading to a short break, but we'll be back once we've got things in order. So stay tuned, and we'll be back soon. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's Mattse and Racquetz back at it again. Game number 1 was fantastic, but we've got game number 2 on its way very soon. And Racquetz, how you feeling about it, mate? You've adjusted your glasses. You're ready. Where's the brain dump? I'm keen.
Yes, it's
Give me
like
all the inside goss.
It's like the anime meme, you know, when they go like this.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's what I was trying to replicate, but it's a failed version nonetheless. But yeah, mate, certainly excited. I think the map that we're going to be heading into, right, correct me if I'm wrong, is Lijiang. So different from last time. We had Oasis on the last version of our control. So going to get a little bit of variety, which is good. And of course, the best of 3 format, it allows us to see a variety of different styles. And so far, we've been seeing a lot of Junker Queen so far. Last week, we saw a lot of Ramatra. And if you remember, actually, the last season, Mattse, we did see more like defensive style compositions. I remember when you and I were casting, we did witness a lot of Junkrat from memory, a lot of Mei.
Yeah.
So already between both these seasons and both these weeks, we've been seeing a massive difference of playstyles, which is wonderful to see, right? I'm happy that Blizzard are being a lot more hands-on in terms of their buffs and nerfs recently. So very, very hands-on in the respect of Junker Queen, for sure. So she's laughing at the moment and very eager to see all those Junker Queen mains finally rejoice. But see how both of these teams adapt to this scenario on Lijiang. I believe Boris last time I saw him ended up playing the Farah, so it would be quite decent to witness it on this map as well. Pretty solid for that situation. But yeah, definitely excited to see what happens, mate. I mean, last series was very entertaining, a quick one, but very entertaining for sure, and a variety of different picks. Of course, my favorite pick was there, mate, in the Doomfist. Unfortunately, didn't get it done there in the end, but you know, we Doomfist mains got to stay together somehow. But hey, we're getting into it, mate. We're getting into it.
We love it. And you're right. Let's get into it. Lijiang Tower. Coming at you live right now, everybody. We've got KGS COLW1 as well as SCCC Gold. Maybe I'll just call them SCCC.
Maybe that's the way, yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's the way. No, we do love KGS OLW1. Definitely.
It's like reading like a serial number or something, you know.
No. I think it's KGS COW1.
There you go.
KGS COW1. That's the one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all right.
Hopefully we got there in the end.
Yes, we've got KGS COW1. Yeah, they don't take no L's. I don't think there's an L in there, but that's okay.
That's certainly a way to interpret it. Oh, that sensitivity seems very high.
Yes, I had to check that my brain was still working for a second there.
I was getting a little bit dizzy, to be honest.
Yes, I thought we were on a bit of a roller coaster for a second.
I've seen a lot of Mercies play with that type of sensitivity when they go for a resurrection, and then you see them go for the res, and then they do 500 spins in a row, and you're like, wow, I don't know how to hit that. But either way, both teams are looking to move forward here. We have the Ramatra and the Zarya, so I haven't seen a lot of Zarya, but see how that pans out. Get the Graviton Surge nice and quick, and she will reward you with a big team wipe. But the Ramatra is going to be a problem, a threat immediately at the start of this. Walking around, punching everyone to death, and there we go already. And yeah, quite the difference in styles, Mattse, but seems to be favoring the KGS squad so far.
Yeah, KGS COW1 going to be looking solid at the moment. Definitely bringing a lot of swagger, you could say. Just like our good old Ramatra. Swagger to be holding the choke point. Good shield to try and isolate the Zarya a bit there. Adam will be falling back as well. Just managed to shut down quite a few members there. So really solid hold coming out from our KGS COW1 squad there. Doing a great job so far.
A little Horde doing quite a parkour challenge to get away from the team there, but ends up getting caught out in the end. Unfortunate. Nice Bastion aim, eliminating Alpaca Blade on the Zenyatta there, but still causing a lot of pressure, wanting to now heal as well. So see how they can work out with this, of course. The Bastion ultimate in this choke can prove to be useful if SCC Gold elect to go down that, but if they try and maneuver and go through different paths, they can be a little bit easier. But now the Ramatra mirror here is Little Horde wants to show them how to play it too, but that anti-heal will provide so much utility in that situation, Mattse.
Yeah, a lot of utility going to be coming through there for them. They will be able to just keep pressure pretty much the whole way through here. So really great start coming out for KGSC OW1.
Yep.
Ooh, there's the ult, so we should be seeing the missile strike do a lot more damage again. Not going to be able to kill the players just yet, but should be able to get a lot more pressure as well. Good that they've had a bit of a switch up on the SCC Gold side to try and use the Ramatra. Dragon's going to allow them a lot of pressure forward as well. This should be the opening they need, and it's at a crucial moment considering they just hit 90%.
Or was a massive Dragon Strike to zone away from the team and allow them to grab the space to move forward. The Bastion is in turret mode, but the flank from behind from Boris Johnson, that's exactly what you want to see. Karika ultimate, but the Ramatra suffer as I have, he says, and popping off of all that damage. Nano Boost is proc too, and it looks like KGS will do that very, very comfortably. And that is the advantage of getting that Ramatra ult for the final fight, Mattse. That ultimate can be so incredibly difficult to deal with if you are a team that is having staggered spawns, or if everyone's grouped onto the point to try and capture that final tick. And SCC Gold, they've of course changed the Ramatra a little bit towards the final state of the last round that we had, admittedly, so didn't manage to get the ultimate for themselves, but now they have a little bit of a different identity to see how that could perhaps work for them. And I like that Discord usage perhaps as well. No, I swapped to the Ana, but KGS, look how they've changed it up there, Mattse. Straight from a slow Ramatra comp to now full dive. Wonder if SCC Gold will figure that out and could be caught off guard here initially.
Yeah, they may not anticipate what's going to be coming out before them here. I think the Winston could be good to deal with that Genji as well. You know, can't dodge electricity. And there we go, diving straight in towards the Genji there, trying to shut them down nice and quick. Soldier and Co taking a lot of damage as well. Seems to be a bit of a bloodbath coming out from the KGSC side at the moment. Doing a great job to just cut the enemies off one after the other. Really keeping up the damage numbers, but they will lose some players in the meantime, but at least they do manage to get the early percentage now going in their favor on the capture point.
That's what you want to see as a dive comp, right? Especially with the Winston, the Genji working in tangent, but Adam really doing a bunch of damage that fight as well. But the Farah Boris has shown a proficiency in that pick before and don't have exactly the hit scan to deal with it. But nice anti-heal onto Swagger. Swagger will have to jump away for the time being and manages to survive up against the Ramatra. The Reaper is doing so much damage. The block can only do so much. And Adam, no! You were doing so well and you fell off the map. No, you didn't fall off the map. That was Boris who did that.
Oh man. We almost thought it was the Reaper, but no, not this time.
I thought it did look a little bit sus.
Now, just seeing them hold the choke point for the moment. I like what Carlos is doing here. Trying to throw out those shuriken. Make sure no one can get there. Echo are going to be reaching for the skies though. Definitely could be good to try and get a bit of damage here. There we go. Bring it out for that passive damage. Not going to be able to get it as yet. Might be able to do something to the Winston here. Death Blossom comes out, doing a bit of damage, but not finding any of the kills for themselves until the end there. So nicely done for the side of KGSC. They do manage to get a lot of presence here and build up a ton of percentage again.
Yeah, KGSC are so ridiculously good with being proactive, and they still have a lot of ultimates to use, right? They use the Death Blossom and the Primal Rage, but they still have 3 in the bank here. And SCC Gold, I actually really like their draft adaptations here, considering what they're up against. The problem is, they haven't had the tempo. There we go, Nanoblade is used by Carlos, and he's looking to go in. That's 2 already.
Yeah, 2 and more to come, it would appear, as it will be the shutdown. Coming out once again, spawn trapping them even. Boris trying to get out of spawn there. Not going to be able to do it this time. Death Blossom comes out. Anti is online, but it will be none other than map 1 going in favor of KGSC OW1 there. Well played.
That was a very, very fast one there, Mattse, but a lot of different comps showcased, but KGSC, the wonderful clean sweep on that control, and the Ramatra. Look at all that damage coming in from the ultimate. Just still, even if he's not getting the damage through, he's still getting that amount of zone and providing the space for Adam to make that tank matchup so much easier for his side as well. So great job there. And yeah, I mean, they're already looking into map 2, right? So that happened very, very quick. And wow. I just went back in a flash, mate.
Yeah.
I almost still feel like we're in the first map almost. It just went. Whew.
Yeah, it just kind of whooshed past us, didn't it?
Yeah,
It felt like you know, maybe some of that energy from the first series coming in again into this one. You know, it just seems like there's a bit of a trend there or something. I don't know, but it's fun. You know, it's good to see the different unique styles from the teams. Absolutely, but. Obviously, map number 2 going to be coming online soon, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, it should be Kings Row. So, a map I was talking about earlier today a little bit, and looks like it's going to be coming through again. Love a bit of Kings Row. Takes me back to the good old days when I used to play a lot of Kings Row back into my old team.
It is the classic. It is the classic Kings Row, mate. I think if you are an Overwatch 1 OG, Kings Row is definitely one of those maps where you just love to play it all the time. Especially, it's sort of changed over time there, Mattse. Especially, I think, one of the characters that has warped the way that Kings Row is played is probably... Actually, I'd pick 2 in this scenario. I'd probably say Kuriko and Ramatra. Kuriko and the fact that often we see Reinhardt as a staple pick for Kings Row, or like... It's a pretty good pick in Kings Row general. The way that his shield maneuvers around the map, it's pretty good. He gets a lot of good Earth Shadow angles. The thing is, if you have a Kuriko, all of a sudden you have an avenue to escape the Earth Shadow. You can prepare the cleanse, you can hide it in a spot, and all of a sudden your 4-man CC is a... No, they're not crowd control anymore. They're completely all standing, they're cleansed. Also Ramatra. Ramatra is a pick that can be problematic for Reinhardt if he does get pocketed very hard, because he can pressure the front line significantly, and he doesn't even necessarily need to eliminate Reinhardt, but it will give him access to his ultimate really quickly, and on such a tight map like Kings Row, then Ramatra is going to be hitting everyone, basically. So I think those specific characters have sort of changed the way that Kings Row has been played historically a little bit, because of how their kit interacts. And we've already seen quite a bit of Ramatra this series already as well, so prepare to maybe see that. And yeah, I mean, we're getting straight into it, Mattse.
That we are, Mr. Racquet. Kings Row going to be on its way right now. You can see both teams going to be assembling their heroes. And we are going to be looking at the double-decker bus there. Kings Row, route 629 there. Hop on the bus if you want to go to Kings Row. Kind of reminds me of platform 9 3/4, you know, that kind of thing. It's like a little fun way to get to your destination.
That is true. That's true. Yeah. It's a nice floating bus as well, right? I wonder if that can, how high that can fly. If it can go above buildings, or if it's just sort of to avoid hitting the ground.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a valid question.
Oh my gosh, I love those little puns from our players.
They're great.
Little jokes in the chat. Yeah.
Lovely sense of humor. We appreciate it, guys. We appreciate it. See how both of these teams look to capitalize on Kings Row, and SCC Gold looks like they're playing more of a dive comp on this attack. They want to make sure to get through this first point as fast as possible, have quick fights. KGSC, on the other hand, as we were looking at before, the Ramatra, a lot more slow of a comp with the Bastion, maybe predicting that the enemy might have a Reinhardt to puncture through that shield. And also Adam as well had a fantastic performance on the Reaper last time, looking to bring forth that to Kings Row as well. So let's see how things pan out.
Let's see indeed. It will be Swagger to open up the account this time. Looking to get a bit more as well. Just trying to deal with that nasty Tracer. Zipping around a bit like a mosquito, you know. Try as you might to swat it, you just can't get rid of it. It's going to be an absolute nuisance, their opponents there. Adam does find another one though. Good to take out some of the healing and tank action now on the ACC Gold side. They should be able to deal with pretty much the whole team there. So that's going to allow our defenders to keep hold of the point a little bit longer here. The initial assault not working out for SCCC Gold at all.
And SCCC Gold have been very willing to switch up their comp to try and make things easier for themselves. Now they're on the Sigma. They also have a Brig as well. Brig to maybe try and sort of contest the front line in conjunction up against that Ramatra, make Sigma a little bit more protected there. But she has a lot to worry about in that Reaper as well. He might have something to say about it. And Adam just popping off. Look at all that damage coming through to the supports, to the tanks, to everyone in between. And KGS doing such a good job at pushing through this momentum, Mattse, and they haven't accumulated an ultimate yet, which is sort of good news for them, which means that they haven't expended a resource. So only up from here in the situation for KGS, but SCCC Gold still trying to find their footing with their comps as well.
Yeah, trying to see if they can get something there. Pulse Bomb comes out, does not work out at all. Bridget going to be taken out as well. So really great pressure just being taken here by KGSC.
Oh.
Able to do a really solid job. Almost taking out Adam there, but not this time. Not this time.
It's too solid on that Reaper, and a lot of ultimates are available here for KGSC, and see how they invest into this. Oh, there we go. Adam has already used it, getting a double with a Death Blossom. Bastion looking to peek over the top with the grenade. Ends up falling, though Adam pretty much did it all by himself there, but still, spawns are closer here for SCCC Gold, so maybe if they can get onto the point quicker, then Adam won't have time to recontest.
Yeah, won't have time to recontest at all. Looks like there's more jokes in the chat in the meantime while we're fighting. Nano Booster are going to be given the swagger though, punching their way through. Brigitte there does take them out. Sigma soon to follow, you would think. There we go. Great stuff coming out in the front lines. Still just trying to keep the back lines boosted up though is Roger. So great presence being established by KGSC there as they take control of the point, and only just over a minute to go. Kind of feels like we're watching a bit of the energy from game one again.
Yeah, it's very true. It's very true. See, maybe if SCCC Gold can perhaps get a game-winning ultimate here. The Bastion ultimate's being used to try and zone the members from SCCC. Let's see if we can get anyone. Looks like they have dodged it, so that is very good so far. Kitsune has procced. The Sigma ultimate is nearly available. Let's see if they can get a big one here.
See if they can get it. Adam trying to shut them down though. Pulse Bomb comes out. 2 kills going in favor of SCCC Gold. Sigma almost down and out. Does get dealt with there. Only going to be a couple of players remaining here on the side of SCCC Gold. Really trying to keep a hold of this one, but their chances to get on the point only dwindling as time passes here. They really need to work together, try and focus up. Then another one gets taken out as well. It is not looking good at the moment. They need something.
Certainly need something indeed. The Brigade ult has been popped, and see if she can maybe get those stuns through there. And the Hammered as well is going to be very durable, but KGSC doing a fantastic job at cleaning up, especially with Adam. The amount of damage that's coming out in the Reaper. And the Death Blossom daily available. Also the same for the Ramatra ult too. This might be very tough here for SCCC Gold. And there we go. Wow. By the time I finish my sentence, they've all been eliminated.
Yep.
That is very clear. Yeah.
Even
Wow.
taking them out after time as well.
Bad manners. Bad manners.
Oh yeah, of course. Now we've got our next round though in Kings Road coming up. So KGSC going to be on their attacking side now, and it's going to be a tough one. Might need to take some power out of that cash register if you're on the SCCC Gold side. Maybe have a coffee. Yeah, I can see a coffee on the shelf there. Maybe they have that. Another joke coming out on in the chat there. Just bringing out absolute bangers all match.
Very good. Props to the players there. Maybe a comedian. We have a few comedians in the game here, but you know what, Mattse, actually, this match has been quite unique in the fact that we've our 2 games so far have been quite quick, but the reality of the situation is, Mattse, that this is a format that a lot of these players, especially coming off of the Rumble, might be a little bit difficult to adapt to. And I think once a team gets that first sort of map win on the board, they get so much confidence, right? Especially if you're youthful, you're confident. Once you get that first map, I feel like you can just roll it over straight after then. So KGSC really proving that, to be honest. And speaking of confidence, if you're a confident person and you want to continue the snowball, what better character would that be than to be on the Widowmaker, headshot onto the tank and looking for more. And then the Ana is eliminated. Our Packer Blade is gone.
Yeah, great stuff coming out already on our attacking side of things. They've managed to wipe out the team there, so it should be a knockout, down and out here. KGSC OW1 will be our victors here, taking away a 2-0 in their favor in this best-of-3 series. Fantastic stuff coming through from them there. And we will see play of the game going to Adam as Reaper.
Indeed, Adam definitely did have a pop-off performance. The Death Blossom going into the backline here, doing so much damage. Don't even need to use the Death Blossom here, actually. I think just ended up getting the 1v1 on the Moira at the last second, yeah. Getting the life still available to sustain through that fight. And wow, that was a very, very clean match there from KGSC, right? They did a very good job at dominating the team of SCCC Gold, and we've had a couple of really quick matches so far. So I think if you are a team in this tournament so far, from what we have seen, Mattse, getting that first win can prove to be monumental for your team. Getting that confidence, getting that ability to bolster yourself onto that next round, especially, is so incredibly important. And when you don't have that much experience in that sort of situation where you are losing, it's difficult to sort of climb back, because after you lose that first map, you're sort of like, okay, what do we do now? Do we have to switch up? Do we have to sort of go to identity? But I think over time, even if you do lose these matches, you would definitely grow as a team, because you have a lot to try and figure out, right? I think you definitely get some perspective. In the moment, it might be a little bit difficult. In the moment in the series, you may be a little bit frustrated. You may be a little bit confused. But after, hindsight is very, very useful, and being a little bit analytical and thinking, guys, I reckon if we did this here, would have been a little bit easier. So if it doesn't matter if you lose here, fellas, because I think if you really knuckle up and put your heads down and focus, you can definitely improve for the next series. And I think throughout the last season as well, I've already seen a fair bit of improvements throughout our players as well. So that's good to see.
Yeah, absolutely. It feels like everyone's definitely been putting in the hard work and practice in order to be the very best that they can be into these series. And it's great that that practice is being reflected directly into their play, as we see now, and as I'm sure we will see throughout the whole of our High School Cup season. So definitely be on the lookout for all of our teams as we dive in a little bit further to it. But that's going to be the end of series number 2, everybody. So whilst we get our third and final series of the day set up, we will head to a short break. Stay tuned, and we'll be back in a jiffy. Welcome back, everybody, to the AEL High School Cup Divisional League play here. My name is Mattse, and I'm here with Racquetz, and we are going to be bringing you our third and final series of the day. It's going to be none other than a team we saw just before, KGSC OW1, coming up against none other than SPLCA. So definitely get keen for that one to get underway. But what are your thoughts on this one, Racquet?
It will definitely be entertaining. And the good thing about this match is we just saw KGS in dominant fashion win that previous match. So let's see how they fare up against another opponent. Are they going to be a team that's going to be extremely dominant throughout this run? Or maybe is there going to be a situation where it's just sort of a matchup thing? Because some teams stylistically don't like necessarily match up good against each other, depending on what they pick, depending on how their styles are. So I think after this match, we'll definitely be able to get a more decisive narrative as to who this squad is. And I think this will definitely be a test for SPLCA to see how strong they are as well, certainly. And it'll be quite entertaining, mate, because we are first up going back to Oasis, which was the very first map we had today as our last. So quite poetic, right?
Yeah, kind of fitting, you know. You start off with a bang and then you end off with a bang. So it's good. I like it. I like you, Racquet. You're pretty cool. No, I'm keen for the match to get underway here. I think our players are just getting a ready check at the moment, so we should be all good in just a moment here. But I'm kind of excited to see, I guess, what our next set of team comps are going to look like, you know, because it seems like every team have had their individual styles. We've seen a bit of a trend come through, you know, a little bit of Ramatra remaining prominent from our second series onwards. First series, we saw a bit of Junker Queen really make a great standing and appearance. So I'm very eager to see, I guess, how things are going to go down as we jump into this next one. But looks like our next map is going to be underway now as we get welcome to Oasis.
Definitely. Lovely. We're at Oasis University. So if you want to study, go here.
I want to go to Racquet University, though.
Racquet University? Sure. We'll make that happen. You know, where is Oasis? Because the theme of Overwatch, right, is that it's sort of global and these are different sort of areas, like right in countries. Where is Oasis?
Oh boy!
If we were to look at the background, it's sort of
The
like
Bahamas?
geolocator, you know.
Nah,
Maybe we can have a lore expert in the chat correct us as to where this potentially is. And then we can all learn something.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, on the map of the university, so it all comes full circle in the end.
Maybe Zenyatta can let us know.
He's enlightened after all.
Exactly.
He knows all. But hey, look at this sort of lineup here from KGSC with the Symmetra. This could potentially be quite cheesy. I mean, they are a comp that is quite slow, right? So the Symmetra does give them that ability to get onto point quite quickly. So see how that ends up working for them. But a villain or a hero, whichever way you see Junker Queen is, she is returned in this matchup up against the Ramatra, the Battle of the Titans. See who comes up forward here. We'll be having some assistance, of course, with those Tank Shredders and Bastion and Reaper, though. So see how that works out.
Yeah, let's see how it's all going to go down here. As the control point is about to be online. And it will be KGSC taking early possession, but going to be contested by SPLCA there, trying to isolate the Ramatra. Definitely doing a good job at the moment. It works out wonderfully for SPLCA there. They find a few kills in the back line. Ramatra not able to do too much at all. Everybody on KGSC just being isolated one after the other. Swagger even jumping off the map there. Just trying to reset with the rest of their team so then they can manage to come back alive at the same time and go for another push together. So I can respect that, you know, going for the self-sacrifice just to make sure that the enemy doesn't gain more percentage than they have to.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And I remember, yeah, SPLCA was the team that we had on the first series as well. So there we go. My memory was jogged once I saw the Tracer absolutely popping off in the backline with Rory. So very good Tracer player, and definitely you'd be frightened if you were a support player on the opposing team here. But once again, these close quarters comps, they're very, very dangerous, Matty, especially up against the Reaper mirror matchup, and so much damage coming through from both of these squads. But it looks like Swagger will claim the point once again. They're getting hooked for a little bit, but continuing to move forward.
Yeah, just pummeling their way through at the moment. Swagger seems to be. Not going to be able to progress any further though, but at least they push the opposition off the point so they can get a bit of percentage of their own this time. They've got the ultimate available on Swagger as well, so might be able to do a bit more with it there with Kiriko's right around the corner. But with SPLC having a couple of ults at their disposal as well, could be quite the fight on our hands here. See who's going to be able to land the first blow though. Looks like the backline going to be focused up here. Great stuff from Adam so far. They're finding kill after kill at the moment, and the focus is not ending yet. They've still got plenty more targets they need to consider here. But definitely doing a great job to take the lead in the percentage game.
Definitely, that's exactly what they want there as well. Keeping the tempo swing with the Ramatra. That is ironically the term used for Ramatra, the tempo tank. That's what Blizzard have used as a way to describe him. An interesting way to describe Ramatra's power, but either way, he does have the ultimate available. The Nano Boost is coming online soon, but will SPLCA be on the point before that even happens? So they do have the Junker Queen ult, but Suffer has IM, says Ramatra.
Yeah, it would seem that the time is there to suffer. Death Blossom going to be coming out as well. Dealt with nice and quickly, but the Tracer going to be the one to take advantage in the end. Unfortunately, the Helix missile there not going to be good for Soldier, as they will go bye-bye and give the advantage to SPLCA there to at least close the gap between the two teams here. But plenty of ultimates are online for KGSC, so I think that might not be the case for too long. They might be able to take it back at the last moments here, but same can be said of SPLCA. They've got plenty of ults too, but they've already lost 2 players, and they got a tactical visor, nano boost as well. It looks like there's going to be a lot of utility used here to take control of that site, and it will be the control point back online with the team kill there for KGSC.
And let's see how KGSC play this, because they do have 2 ultimates available, and they will be aware that SPLCA do have some resources to still be used, considering what happened last fight, because they managed to get the pick. So SPLCA, they do have the Transcendence. They're going to be so incredibly important, but the Junker Queen ult, not as powerful as before. We've seen it so in the previous series. Also, the Kitsune Rush has been used as well, and Adam with the massive Death Blossom, but Swagger still popping off massively on the Ramatra.
Yeah, doing a great job so far on that Ramatra. Really trying to make sure they can get control of this site in overtime, and it looks like it's going to be good for it. And they will take the first control point in their favor here on map number 1.
It's quite close, actually. I think both of these teams are shaping up against each other, flexing their muscles to see who flinches first, and so far KGSC have been the victors, of course, in the first round of the control point on Oasis so far, University, but this map is a little bit different. Now you have to deal with this little high ground bit up there, so if you do have a very good hit scan player, so Carlos on the Soldier perhaps could be quite dominant on this if he manages to find a way perched up there to pepper down the damage perhaps, and SPLCA realize that for themselves as well. They want to duel it out in that high ground and have the Ash as well.
Yeah, want to duel it out and see if they are going to be able to find some success in this part of the map. Charging forward towards the point already. They're ready for action here. Let's see if they are going to be able to find the opening this time. Good shield coming out there. Swagger going to be able to find big flip-flop through the use of the sleep dart and then some. Going to isolate another player. Going to be a Rorty to actually get one back, but they get traded just as quick. Both teams are definitely finding a lot of prominence in that respect. The tank being down though for KGSC could be a factor they need to consider before they try and go any further forward at the moment. Looks like we are going to be losing an Anna very soon as well. Nice hunt down coming out from Ellipticity there.
Doing a great job on that Junker Queen as always. And this is a little bit of a different playstyle here from SPLCA. We do often see Rody contesting the backline supports on that Tracer, doing a mass amount of damage, but now going for this more hit scan style, conquering that high ground, making sure that KGSC aren't having the cleanest sort of pathing on the way forward. So let's see how they can optimize that and hopefully get some ultimates up quicker as KGSC go through. But KGSC have actually had a pretty good contest early on without taking too much damage, so they might get some free picks at the start here, contesting the Zenyatta at the back too, and already getting a pick out from here from Swagger.
Yeah, doing a great job so far on their targeting, taking out those backline players and slowly managing to whittle down the HP on the tank as well. Might be able to get another kill on the bank there. There we go. So well played by KGSC. They lose a bit of percentage, but they do manage to at least have a triumphant approach to take a lot more back. And it's staggering out the deaths as well, going to allow them to get their best foot forward.
See how it works out for this next fight as well. Let's see. Trying to get some harass through here on that Ash, of course. Very, very sharp on it, but the tactical visor will be available. You don't necessarily need to be sharp with that because the aiming is done for you, but Dynamite does end up narrowly missing. Doesn't have the nano boost to be facilitated with that as well, but the Kitsune can be used too, but nearly ending up eliminating him at the top there, but there we go. Actually ends up getting a sharp shot through, but Adam gets the picks in return.
Yeah, great trades coming out there. Does allow the percentage to build up just that little bit more and will get the KGSC side back in the lead here. So good to see that they are managing to push themselves above and beyond at the moment. Definitely doing a great job so far.
And what they're doing, sorry, Mattse, what they're doing well is that they're spreading out quite well, so Junker Queen can't get a massive anti-heal, especially on this map where you can go on the high ground. It does make it more difficult for her to get that massive ultimate. But Adam, nice pick at the start, does need to be healed, and a little bit of a difficult place here up against Zenyatta, but a welcome message there from Harp on this end. Nice trade there at the end.
Here we go again. Good to see the Kinsunes coming out there, speeding things up here for the side of KGSC. Got to be able to shut down these players one after the other, even with the tactical visor that was activated as well. So really good wipe for the point there. Getting closer and closer to the danger zone here as well. SPLCA need to get on the point and a quick smart, because otherwise we could see map number 1 just to get away from them here, and they desperately do not want that. Here comes the contest though. They're trying for it. OT before us. Are they going to be able to do this, Racquet?
It's going to be very, very tough. Adam does have the Death Blossom available. Nano boosted as well. Booped up forward against Zenyatta. That is an unfortunate situation for that fella there. And there we go. KGSC very, very clean there in the end. A nice decisive win. And it's difficult to get onto the point that late, Mattse. You're going to take a lot of damage coming in. And that was always going to be a very tough uphill battle. But still, they contested that map quite well. Probably the most contested game of this series so far. But already, with the play of the game on the Tracer, the pressure on the backline is just been phenomenal when this player is on the Tracer, looking for the third as well. Pretty much a one clip. Both supports are gone immediately. Say goodbye. No more healing for you. And that has been a really staple pick there for that team, especially getting that backline pressure, Mattse. But once again, a sort of change of identity, having the sort of hit scan there to contest on that map. So they're willing to sort of change that play style there. But I mean, it's been a good series so far, Mattse, for sure. Considering how fast, especially our control points have been going so far recently. And the beauty is we've seen both of these teams already today. You know, SPLCA, the first team that we saw, and of course KGSC, the team that we saw on our last previous series too. So I've gotten a bit of a taste of them both in terms of their play styles, how they can operate, their players, and now we're seeing them up against each other, which is great to see. And it's already provided a pretty well contested series so far, but hopefully that extends itself to be on our next hybrid map too.
Yeah, we'll see exactly what that's going to be coming up next. It looks like we've got word it is going to be King's Row again. So we're back on this playing ground this time. I'm keen to see how these two teams perform on it because, you know, we've seen some very, I guess, one-sided affairs in our matches so far, but I think that this one might be a little bit different. Like, we saw some pretty close competition between the two teams in that last map in particular. I definitely feel like SPLCA did a great job really trying to take it to KGSC there. I think they were more than capable of potentially even taking out at least a round on that last map. So I'm eager to see what the change of pace might be heading into our second map of this best of 3 series here, whether we do see the Junker Queen continue to reign supreme for SPLCA, whether they might change it up to another kind of tank instead. What are your thoughts on this?
I think that maybe the Junker Queen could be a contested pick on this map. I think it could very well be the Joker Queen versus Ramatra matchup. I think the thing is, with the way that KGS were positioned sort of the last game, they were very, very spread out on that Oasis map, right? So it was very difficult to get a massive Junker Queen ultimate. On King's Row, it's a lot more difficult to dodge that. I think especially from the first point, depending on what comp you're playing onwards, I think especially the second point, she can become really, really oppressive because you don't have the room to sort of kite around, maneuver, and get some better positions. And you could, of course, make that same argument for the Ramatra. But at the same time, Ramatra may have a little bit more flexibility because of his ability to effectively zone off a choke with his shield to make sure that a hit scan doesn't get as much value in a particular spot on a King's Row, which, because of the amount of places in King's Row, especially going from that second point onwards, are a little bit more limited. That means he can get a very good spot to place it there. So yeah, we're getting into the map of King's Row. Let's see what both of these teams elect to do. I think especially considering the matchups that we've seen, Mattse, some tank shred is very, very important. We've seen quite a bit of Zenyatta today already. We've also we've ironically seen a lot of Queen too, but we've seen a lot of Reaper, and we've also seen quite a lot of Bastion too. So if you want to sway that tank matchup in your favor, then having one of your carries in the role of a tank shredder, such as the Reaper, such as a Bastion, can help you gain that advantage, can help you make sure that you can contest the front line more easier. So let's see what both of the angles are going to be used for these teams. It looks like they're going for a bit of a hybrid once again. So SPLCA with a bit more of a long-range sort of poke composition in conjunction with the Junker Queen. So she's going to be self-sufficient on the front line, being helped along with that sort of long-range sight lines of that Widowmaker and having the harass from the Junkrat, while KGSC, they're looking for a bit more of a dive, and they're going to have that tank go straight through the middle, being pocket and facilitated by those healers as well. So see how that ends up working through both of these playstyles. It's going to be an interesting one for sure.
Absolutely. Haven't seen a Widowmaker in the series so far, so eager to see how Rorty is able to pull this one off, whether they can get a shot through there. Not catching anything yet, but with the Discord orb, it might assist them in shutting down that tank rather quickly here. Good shield to come out as well, slowing them down, really just trying to shut down that Kiriko. Cleanse does at least allow them to get back as timely as possible, and the DPS players doing a great job to shut down the back line of SPLCA here. Taking a bit of damage, sure, but they're at least being a nuisance towards their opponents. That Widowmaker really trying to get away, but not going to be able to do it today. It will be KGSC doing a great job to hold them back so far.
Carlos previously on the hit scan in the series on the Soldier, and now back onto the Genji, and that's going to be really, really important, especially up against the backline of the Zenyatta and the Widowmaker. So definitely a key matchup to look for in there. And the Kiriko looking for the headshots. Zarek providing a lot of pressure, but going to be teleporting back to safety. Nice to be keeping those angles to make sure that the Widowmaker doesn't get those free picks, keeping them on edge. But the Ramatra running forward up against that Zenyatta in conjunction with the Genji. That's the dive that you want to see.
Yeah, and it works out wonderfully. Many a player streak on its way. Swagger taking a lot of damage though. Good kill coming out from Shiva there. Going to be able to back up Rorty to find the kill onto the Ramatra. Might actually create an opening here for our attackers on SPLCA there, considering there's a bit of distance between the KGSC players and the objective for now. Maybe not for long though. SPLCA going to be on point now. Looking to get a bit of momentum on it. Might actually find the first ticket here, so that's a first for our first time attacking sides in the matches so far. Let's see how it all goes down. Jumping into the rest of it though, lots of kills coming out in response there. Looking to shut down that Widowmaker. Nice stop, chop, and roll there for the Genji. They should be able to find Kiriko as well. So good response from the side of KGSC. You know, they do allow the point to get taken by one ticker, but they don't allow it for two. They at least manage to stop them before it can get too far gone.
Yeah, you bring a good point there, Mattse. They were pretty patient when it came to it because they could have very easily staggered through and made the fight a lot more difficult for themselves, trying to desperately contest that point. But they say, all right, let's just give them a tick, and then once everyone is here, we're going to come back, use Remand Roll, then we're going to have it in the bag. So props to KGSC for being cool, calm, and composed.
Absolutely, but it will be SBLCA jumping on the point again, and Kitsune's coming out on both sides. Junker Queen going to be ulting as well. Good anti there. Adam going to be capitalizing with the Death Blossom, joining up with Carlos there, trying to take out Junker Queen. They do manage it. 4 kills go down, and it's all going to be up to Tracer, but Rorty not able to do anything. Team Wipe will come out there from KGSC, so the battle of the ultimates, and they will stand strong, prevailing. Just under a minute to go now.
See if Big Flip Flop can perhaps flip the match on its shoulders. We saw a lot of really, really great Junkrat ultimates last season, but if that happens at the start, then you won't have the opportunity to do that. So Eric, lovely pick from the start of that fight there. Adam doing a great job to pressure as well, but is very, very low. Has to retreat, get some healing there. The Wraith form is not available, so will be a little bit more vulnerable and exposed for now. But look at the pressure that Swag is providing there, and it's forced Welcome Harp to push forward with the Zenyatta roll.
Yeah, Transcendence going to be popped nice and early here. That could be costly for them. Looks like that is going to be a lot of pressure from Rorty as well. Really trying to get that second ticker at the moment. Alter coming out left, right, and center. Saying goodbye to Junkrat. Traded straight back, though. Almost finding Kiriko. There we go. Swagger going to be on a bit of a tear at the moment. Trying to see if they can get past this other Ramatra. They do win this time. And it should be the point taken here by KGSC. Well defended. SBLCA getting so close to a second tick there, but alas, they're not going to be getting it.
It was very close, wasn't it? It was funny seeing that Ramatra ultimate battle off there in the end. It was like Clash of the Titans almost, but the Zenyatta was quite good. The Transcendence to counter the ultimate of the Genji is, but you need to sort of be careful in these types of matchups, especially the tanks can be so incredibly useful if the healers are kept alive enough, right? They can really, really make the matchup a lot easier for your mirror if you are going up against that opposing Ramatra. And the nano boost as well is something that can turn the tide there in your favor, which gave them the opportunity to get that Ramatra ultimate in the end as well. So props for them to having the comms, the foresight to make sure that they use that cooldown when it was available. So let's see how this works out. KGSC hovering over a little bit of a dive comp here on King's Row. Very aggressive. Carlos had a very solid performance on that Genji. And Lifeweaver also is being hovered. I believe Roger was maybe hovering over it a little bit before as well. So I'll believe it when I see it, mate. But a lot of people also pick the Lifeweaver so they can poke at the top of here, right? He has the elevator to make sure that characters that may not climb can now climb. But you won't be climbing with Lifeweaver if you pick him in rank, that's for sure.
Yes, you might be descending and maybe very quick. Unlucky. But we are going to see the early patients come out now. Widowmaker actually going to be on the KGSC side this time. Good that the SPLCA side, though, tucked away there, do have the Symmetra turret doing a lot of work. Swagger going to be shut down nice and early. Turret goes bye-bye as well, however. So good to see that SPLCA are going to be keeping control of it this time, not allowing any early pushes to go in favor of KGSC here.
Quite a defensive composition as well. I mean, a lot of damage. So the Torbjorn as well, if you can get that turret positioning right and if you don't have the burst to deal with it, it can become quite oppressive. And that little Junker Queen pull makes Swaggers a little bit more vulnerable, but does have the block available and did get the Kuriko immunity, but still getting eliminated at the end of the day. And look at that damage coming out from Rorty, fully charged up and ready to go. That is a massive job from the Symmetra player, and Rorty and does have the shield ultimate available already. So see what ends up working out for the Mattse.
Yeah, we'll see what's going to eventuate from this one. We dive in to an attack again. A good shield coming out from Swagger there. Going to be counted out by the Symmetra, however. Nicely done on that one. Turrets on the other side of it as well, not allowing any presence from KGSC here. Good use, though, for the Reaper of Adam there, trying to get on the point. Divert their attention for a second. Swagger trying desperately to get a kill out of this one, but they haven't found the success they need at the moment. They do at least find a couple of kills now, though. Nano Boost coming out as well. This could be the opening that they were searching for. Kiriko ult activated on both sides, but it is going to be favoring KGSC. They should be able to take it over the first tick, maybe even the second, considering how staggered out the enemies are. So, without further ado, that's going to be that. KGSC, they take the point, and they will be able to win the game 2-0 in their favor. Fantastic effort.
Really was a fantastic effort, and that first control point was very heavily contested by both of these teams, but KGSC, just a wonderful job at snowballing it. Look at this Ramatra play. Just been an absolute menace today. Swagger, and this 1v1 in the end, doing a massive amount of damage and getting the better of the opposing Ramatra. And there we go, mate. That is our series of King's Row. And, wow, my prediction of seeing a lot of Ramatra did end up coming true. I think a lot of teams especially dig this Ramatra style of play because it's very intuitive. You know, you just group up and have this bloke that has a very good ultimate punching through shields and can accumulate it very quickly, make sure that the team funnels into a small area, and boom, you win the map. And I think if you are experienced in that playstyle, and if your supports are very good at surviving, then that can enable you to get a few easy wins. It's not necessarily the hardest composition to play, but it's good that these team comps are sort of recognized as a sort of easy winning condition to recognize. Because in my opinion, Mattse, you want to identify something sort of on the easier side to play so that you can get used to it and so that you can advance to a little bit more complicated things. Because if you don't understand the basic concept of what to do in your comp, then you might be a little confused. But I think Ramatra is a nice pick up and play type of character. People grip up with him. People know what to do up against him, but he's so incredibly strong right now in terms of that ultimate that he's quite difficult to verse, especially if you're not on point with, say, an Ana, Sleep Grenade, things like that, right? So props. That was a very good performance there on King's Row, especially Swagger. Great performance on that Ramatra, and props to the supports for keeping him up there as well. And yeah, there we go. That happened quite quick as well.
Definitely quite the convincing result, to say the least. But some great matches all in all today. Like, we saw every series go 2-0, but I don't think that 2-0 reflects just how close some of these games were, especially that last one there. Like, seeing a lot of potential come out there from both rosters. I was pretty impressed with the SPLCA and the fact that they certainly had the capability to take it pretty close to KGSC OW1 there. So big shout out to them. Speaking of shout outs though, Racquet, I think we've got to shout out some lovely sponsors.
Right, can do. And first off, once again, is Acer Australia. So they are the presenting partner of the high school series. And if you want to look for a wonderful technology solution, look no further than them for both your needs in the schooling and at home. And if you really want to upgrade your setup, looking for a premium gaming PC, Predator Gaming could be the use for you. If you want to have a powerful solution in both your laptop or your desktop, then look no further than the Intel powerhouse. And we also have AOC's monitors, the premium gaming monitor that will provide you the best gaming solutions for all your needs in that regard. And of course, quite the tasty treat if you want some noodles. Indomie, proud partner of our high school league here. High quality flour ingredients, a variety of different flavors, spices to brighten up your day. They're lovely. Me and Mattse have them on the regular, I think, considering what we saw previously on the stream. And if you want to purchase it, they're available at your local grocer and, of course, on their website at indomie.com. And last but certainly not least, we also have Game on Cancer. If you want to provide a little bit of support to the charity, then feel free to use that QR code there. It's all to a wonderful cause there, donating a portion of all the students' participation fees to this life-saving situation. So you can either use that QR code or you can go on AEL's Tiltify campaign page. So with all that out of the way, with all those wonderful sponsors out of the way, Mattse, then we're pretty much at the end, right? That was quite a quick day of games.
Yeah, it was pretty hasty, wasn't it? Definitely loved all the action that we had today. If you want to see more action from AEL as well, be sure to check out AU Esports League on Twitter, Facebook, you name it. They've got it. Instagram, Twitter, all of it. TikTok. Check out AU Esports League. and you'll find some more of the AEL's different variety of competitions ongoing. I think they've actually got Rocket League going on at the moment in the high school division as well. So if you're inclined towards that, definitely check that out today as well. But yeah, that's going to be all from us for today. Be sure to check out Racquet on Twitter. I think it's at Racquetz on Twitter. Definitely be sure to check out Racquet there. And you can check me out at Mattse123 on Twitter. So definitely check us out if you want to see more casting action from us. But last but not least, that's going to be the end of the day. So a big shout out to all of our teams for doing the very best they can in our week of high school league action here for the AL High School Cup in Overwatch 2. And keen to see what more will come through in future weeks. But without further ado, that's going to be all from us for today. So big shout out to everybody for tuning in. But until next time, we will catch you later. So peace out.